BTS news. The sky over Seoul looked pale as the afternoon approached, with a massive wave of army already filling the area around Olympic Stadium. While thousands of voices echoed from outside, behind the grand stage that was preparing to welcome a flood of emotions and music, the atmosphere inside BTS's makeup room was quite the opposite. There was no excessive tension, no eerie silence before a global performance. In fact, behind the white partitions and glowing mirror lights, laughter erupted, all thanks to one person, Jungkook. That day marked the third concert of the BTS World Tour 2025, Beyond Eternal, and no one expected that one of the biggest highlights would take place not on stage, but right in front of the makeup mirror, when Jungkook unintentionally became an impromptu makeup artist. BTS's official makeup artist, Jimin, had just stepped out briefly to grab a cushion foundation she left outside. Jungkook, already seated on the spinning chair, stared at his bare face in the mirror. He adjusted his bangs, tilted his head side to side, and sighed deeply before mumbling, "At this rate, I could do my own makeup." Jimin, sitting not far away, turned his head and held back laughter. "Go ahead, but don't blame us if ARMY gets scared later." Rather than backing down, that comment only fueled Jungkook's playful mood. With the confidence of a seasoned beauty vlogger, he picked up one of the concealers from the makeup box. Unbeknownst to him, it belonged to Taeyong and was 2 shades darker than his own skin tone. With a deliberately elegant pose, he began applying concealer under his eyes in a triangular shape he claimed to have seen on TikTok. A staff camera unintentionally caught the moment and began recording secretly for behind-the-scenes content later. "I'm serious," Jungkook said in a low, focused voice. "Here, pull it." Then pat it lightly. Within 5 minutes, the results already had everyone's attention. Jimin, who had been munching on jelly candy, suddenly choked on laughter. Jungkook's face now looked like something out of a fantasy film. The area under his eyes was dark, and instead of a glowing look, he resembled a character from a horror drama. "Hyum." Jungkook protested through a chuckle. "Why do you look like you just saw a zombie?" Jimin immediately pulled out his phone and started recording a short video. "ARMY needs to see this. This is legendary." Soon after, Namjoon entered the room holding a bottle of water. He froze for a few seconds upon seeing Jungkook's face and said flatly, "Is this a new concept? Gothic vampire?" "Namjoon Hyung, don't make it worse," Jungkook shouted, holding a blush brush like a sword. The small commotion quickly drew the staff's attention, including the makeup artist who had stepped out earlier. When she saw Jungkook's face, she covered her mouth, stifling a laugh. "Jungkook SS, you used VSSI's concealer. That's not your shade." Jungkook, who had been so confident, froze. "What? That wasn't mine? No wonder I look sunburned," he said, covering his face with both hands. The entire room burst into laughter. Even Suga, who usually remained quiet before a show, couldn't help but laugh from his seat, commenting softly, "Sunburned but glowing." And the fun wasn't over yet. While trying to wipe off the makeup with wet tissues, Jungkook accidentally erased half of his left eyebrow. His face now wasn't just patchy, he looked like a cartoon character with 1.5 eyebrows. "Okay, I give up. Please, fix this before I go on stage looking like an alien," he said in defeat, surrendering his face to the makeup artist. The moment quickly became legendary. Later that afternoon, V went live briefly on Weverse and whispered, "Wait for Jungkook's content today. I swear you're all gonna laugh so hard." And sure enough, 2 days later, BTS's official channel released a behind-the-scenes video titled Cookie's Makeup Mayhem. The 7-minute video featured everything from Jungkook's serious expressions, his pat-pat, makeup motions, to Jimin and Namjoon's hilarious reactions. The video went viral instantly. Within just 12 hours, it surpassed 10 million views and trended in several countries. ARMYs worldwide filled the comments with laugh emojis and edited Jungkook's face into drag queen makeup. "This is the best content since Jungkook played piano with his nose," read one fan comment from Mexico. Jungkook, from golden magne to golden makeup artist, failed version, added another fan from the Philippines. But Jungkook being Jungkook, he turned an embarrassing moment into part of his charm. At the next concert, during the Mint segment, Jungkook said with a laugh, "ARMY, my makeup looks okay today, right? I left it to the professionals. If not, there'll be another horror video, part 2. The stadium roared with laughter and cheers. Even Taeyong shouted from the side, "But if you want to use my makeup again, let me know, so I can run away." In the following days, the makeup chaos moment became an inseparable part of the BTS World Tour 2025. Fans started bringing light sticks with stickers of Jungkook's patchy face. Unofficial merchandise featuring alien Kooky popped up, and some fans even wore dark concealer as a tribute to the comedic incident. But beneath all the laughter, what stood out most was the strong and warm bond between the members. Jungkook wasn't just in the spotlight for his stunning vocals. It was also his honest and playful personality that shone through as the tour continued through Asia, Europe, and the Americas. The backstage team and members always reminded Jungkook, "Don't touch the makeup unless supervised." And every time the warning came, Jungkook would laugh, raise both hands in mock surrender, and say with an embarrassed smile, "I promise. But if I get bored, who knows? I might become a beauty influencer." ARMY responded with love. To them, moments like these were reminders that behind the global superstar, Jungkook remained Jungkook, a funny, warm, and ever-surprising young man. The next morning, the hotel where BTS was staying had a more cheerful air than usual. The top-floor breakfast room, normally quiet before their packed schedules began, was filled with light banter and laughter. Jungkook sat with a large hoodie pulled over his head, sipping a cup of coffee. "Please stop talking about it," he muttered, his voice raspy and half hidden by his sleeve. Taeyong arrived with messy hair and hotel slippers, plopping down beside Jungkook. "Hold up, I'm pulling up YouTube. I need to rewatch your expression when you realized that concealer was 2 shades too dark." "Hyung," Jungkook protested, laughing in defeat. "Let it go? That's a dark chapter." "Nope, it's a golden moment." J-Hope chimed in from across the table, spreading strawberry jam on toast. "Now the world knows even the golden magne can totally mess up." RM, reading the day's itinerary, nodded seriously. "We need to preserve that footage. One day, we could sell it as an NFT." Jimin came in last, holding a bowl of cereal and 2 bananas. He placed 1 banana in front of Jungkook and smiled sweetly. "For you. So you get enough potassium. Might help you not mess up your makeup next time." Jungkook chuckled and leaned his head on Jimin's shoulder. "You're so mean, Hyung. I love you. That's why I remind you," Jimin said, giving his cheek a quick pinch. But the fun wasn't over. Just hours after breakfast, it was time to return to the stadium for choreography rehearsals. And once again, makeup was part of the prep. This time, Jungkook sat obediently, still scarred from the previous day. But just before the makeup artist touched his face, he raised his hand high and asked, "I just want to make sure. The foundation is my shade, right?" The room erupted in laughter. The makeup artist held up 2 fingers in a solemn pledge. "This is specially for Jungkook SSI. Locked, sealed, and labeled." Suddenly, the sound of a DSLR camera shutter clicked nearby. A photographer from the concert's documentation team had captured Jungkook's anxious expression, like a kid about to get a vaccine.